Action.
Hi everyone, this is Amos Miller here. We are out in Lashai in one of the parks here in Seattle, very close to my house. This is an area that we've been doing lots of testing with Glide. It's actually kind of my familiar neighborhood. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what we are working on at the moment. So the big thing that we're doing is what we're calling the Seattle pilot. This is really in many ways the kickoff of the beta program, and really the chance for us to take Glide out and start to have it used in people's real world routes, the people's home routes. The goal here is that once we work with people and iterate and build out and make sure that they are able to complete their current routes with Glide as their primary mobility aid, that is really the point that we know that we have the core set of features that will allow you to use Glide as your primary mobility aid, and that's the point that we know as a community that we have a new primary mobility aid to build on. So that's really the purpose of this Seattle pilot that we're working. One of the things that it really enables us to do is to take Glide and expose it to a whole wide variety of environments where it needs to operate. In some of the demos that you will have experienced, they were often indoors or semi-indoor spaces. Now we're really testing the device outdoors. That brings a variety of challenges or things that we need to work on. Just different types of surfaces, different kinds of obstacles that it needs to deal with. Like around here, there's a pavement, there's grass. Glide needs to be able to detect that the pavement is the walkable space, the grass isn't the walkable space. We also have to deal with changes during the day, right? Bright sunlight days, darker days, cloudy days, rainy days, morning where the shadows are long and stretchy covering half the pavement versus middle of the day where the sun is coming straight from the top, evening. So basically testing it all in the real world environment really allows us to expose the Glide to all of these scenarios, and that's what we've been working on. The team has been at it for about 2 months now, July and August. Made a ton of progress, and we're really now starting to test those routes with folks here in Seattle, and we will continue to update you on the progress on that front. In terms of some of the features and the things that we have been working on, you will know that during the spring, we focused on building what we call line maintenance and turn taking. That's when you walk along, Glide keeps you on the safe path, avoiding obstacles, but maintain the direction that you've been going in. If it's on the sidewalk, keeps you on the sidewalk. If it zigzags around an obstacle, it'll come back to the direction it was going in. If you are walking in a train station, it's not going to all of a sudden careen over to a different direction. It will always come back to the direction that you've been going on. That's line maintenance. And so what we've been doing now is working on line maintenance outdoors, where it maintains the line on sidewalks, on crosswalks, on paths in the park, on all the places, kind of typical places that we would be familiar with, and making sure that Glide is able to maintain the line on them, and you have the capability of initiating turns when you want to take a turn. One interesting thing that we've been looking at actually last week on one of the routes here in Seattle is this two types of turn taking. One is like in flow, where you walk along, you know there's a left to the right, there's a turn coming up on the right. So you'll click the button on the right, and as the opening comes up on your right, Glide will take that turn. But we also know that often, especially when we use a guide dog or a cane, we will actually walk all the way up to the curb, stop at the curb, and then take a solid turn, and then continue the walk. And so we've actually been experimenting with these different types of turns as we really test Glide with users out in the real world. That's the kind of nuance that we're really diving into. So that's what the Seattle pilot is about. That's what we are excited to be working on, and really build out that reliable flow that you will be able to use Glide, addressing all the different scenarios that you encounter on your familiar routes today. Okay, so now we are on the street where we're very close to my house, where there's a store on our right here, and as you can see, there's a road to my left. On the other side of the street, there's a few restaurants and other things. There's a Starbucks right behind me, and I'm here with... sorry?
Starbucks is ahead of you.
Oh, Starbucks is ahead of me and to the right there. Yeah. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a walk along this sidewalk. It's a pretty complicated sidewalk. There's trees, there is a parking lot that goes right up to the shop. So we'll give you a bit of a narration as we go, and maybe Lauren, you can help me here.
Yeah.
But what we are also doing is we are recording, the robot is actually recording everything that it's doing. So it's never going to be a perfect walk, at least not at this stage. And what that recording allows us to do is to see exactly where it goes, does something wonky, and the engineers can then go back and look at the recording and see what it's done. So okay, I put it into position, and I'm just going to start walking. I press the middle button just to confirm the direction, and we're just going to start walking and see what happens. Lorian is to my right, slightly behind. Now you're on my left. We're approaching the street, and the device moved a little bit to the right. And wriggling a little bit, but it's basically staying on the sidewalk. Have we passed Starbucks yet?
Yeah, we're passing Starbucks. It went under a bike stand here, this stand.
Right, we got ourselves in between two fences here. So we just lined ourselves up again, and then the engineers can see why it got so close to that fence. This is basically a seating area for Starbucks on the right here. Keeping nice and straight, keeping me beautifully along the sidewalk.
Passing the Shy Market now.
Passing Le Chai Market on my right. There's stuff in front of it. Signs. There's are there like flowers and things in front here? We passed the flowers.
There's cars we're coming up to that
there's
are parked.
Parking lot on my right. That's basically the cars are all the cars are all sticking out onto the sidewalk, which we all love. We got a little close there, so we'll see why it got too close. And the Glide is doing its work.
Right there to avoid some cars, so that was good.
Amos is now a little further down on the same street, but facing the opposite direction.
Now we've got the road on our right, building line on our left. It's a fairly wide sidewalk with all kinds of stuff. And we are starting to walk.
As Glide goes down the sidewalk, it's keeping Amos closer to the left side of the sidewalk where the buildings are, rather than the right side where the cars and the road are.
Look at this smooth display.
As the sidewalk opens up into a much broader space, Glide continues to maintain its path with minimal veering. Amos takes Glide out on a paved path in his local park. At the end of the path is a T intersection with a sidewalk and street. To the left and right is grass, and at the end of the right-hand side of the path is a large tree.
Okay, we're taking Glide out in the park now. Got a new build, a new AI model that's designed to deal with some of the issues that we encountered yesterday. We do have the ROS bags playing as well, so that we can record the behavior of Glide as we talked about.
We're now going through the section where yesterday it was stop and start.
Right, so this is definitely smoother.
Yeah,
Alright, Lorian, you're going to be an obstacle. And where are you?
I'm over here.
You want to go a bit further just so it can have some good runway before? Like maybe stand on one side so it has a path to go.
Okay. I'm on the right, your right side.
Okay, and there's lawn on this side?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna put it there and go towards you.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so it did get past you.
Amos continues to push Glide down the paved path. There's grass on either side, with about 3.5 to 4 feet in between. The path takes a gentle curve to the left and then to the right.
Okay, we now have these funny bumps coming up. How do we know? Because it's a familiar route. Over the bump. Over the bump. It's good because we can feel it going over it, so I can prepare my feet to go over these bumps. Now we have a big one. Wow, they are smooth. I think somebody smoothed them out a little bit. Apart from this one. This is a big one, so we just nudge the device over a little bit. And bam!
Nice, it stopped.
It put the brakes on. Yeah.
Okay.
And we are testing Glide today on another path in my neighborhood. We've got some updates, some fixes. We're going to start the walk without recording any bags just to see how we get on. We've seen any issues. The first thing that we're going to encounter is what we call the little zigzag, where if Glide continued straight it will go onto the lawn, but it is expected to see that lawn and zigzag a little bit to the right and then line me up again.
Actually, Amos passed the zigzag point while he was talking, and Glide was so smooth he didn't even notice.
How are we doing, Lorianne?
Pretty good. Doesn't seem to be reacting to your shadow, which is...
It's a good sign.
There was some... there was a cyclist who just went past you, so that was
Okay.
a correction. There's some people coming towards us, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to try slowly get into the... see if it'll stop you from... prevent you from going into the grass.
Not yet. Have we done the zigzag yet? Like are we we have lawn on either side now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we passed that zigzag and it's keeping us on the side, on the pavement very nicely. So just gonna tilt Glide a little bit to the right, see that it's keeping me away from the curb. It's doing a great job. Right?
As Amos tried to intentionally turn Glide off the path, Glide provided smart resistance and kept him going on a straight line and from veering off the path.
A few little turns that it's making. So there's grass on my right and at the
now
moment?
there's a fence. They put up a fence in the parking lot on the left.
Oh really? Okay.
But yes, there is
So
lawn.
let's see. I'm gonna now point Glide at an angle towards the grass.
Okay.
And I'm gonna click the middle button. So it's going to want to go to the right onto the grass, but let's see if it's refusing to do that, which is refusing to do it.
Amos is now back on his main street, with the buildings to his left and the road and cars to his
All right,
right.
so we are at the start of the high street and putting Glide back into position. We've got the Rosbag recording for the engineers to keep track of what's going on. And we are going to walk along the pavement here. Again, the road is on my right. I am expecting a left turn coming up, right,
Which
Lorianne?
is right now. Yeah, left.
And Glide took a very nice clean left, and then and that's because the parking lot is onto my right. And now I'm going to click right, and hopefully Glide decides to take the turn in the right spot.
Nice. It saw this big car here, or van. Should avoid it.
Okay.
You might want to go right again. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. I'm going to angle it a little bit to the left, to the right, so that so it pulls me a little bit to the right as we go, so that we don't get too close to the store and all the street furniture in front of the store.
Yeah, we've got some signs on the right that it's guiding you through them, so that, I mean, between them and the store on the left.
We're going past the store on the left, parking on the right,
We've got Starbucks coming up on the left.
and that's where we're headed to.
Okay.
What is that? Can anybody guess?
Can anybody guess what it is?
Good guess, but not
I
quite.
was thinking metal detector, just because you're pushing it along, but it's in the wrong place and it has wheels.
It's a robot.
Oh.
It's a robot to guide the blind person. I am actually blind, and it's guiding. Isn't that cool? It's called Glide. Say Glide.
Glide.
There you go.
We were just talking about crosswalks and how people who are not sighted can use them to cross the street. And look, this is a newer and even more efficient way.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? So we are developing it. This is a prototype, which means that it's got little wires hanging off it and things like that. And hopefully in the coming year or two, you'll start to see more of those on the streets.
Does it talk?
It will talk, but at the moment it guides by steering its wheels. Yeah.
And how does it sense things in front of it?
Got cameras. There's a camera up here. Yeah.
And it's called Glide.
Glide, that's right.
Wow, a robot. We met a robot.
You met a robot.
Very nice. Thank you so much.